He's Nick, and I'm Matt, and we're insufficient. I hate that so much. I can't even tell you. Not only that, but if you actually listen back to our recordings, you would hear that the music is way too quiet.
Well, yeah, the music. I can make the music louder.
No, I know. Yeah, it needs to be because it comes in way too quiet, and then we come in and talk, and the levels are. It doesn't make any sense.
Okay. Bear with me. Is that better?
That is better.
Okay, good.
That's better. He's Nick.
That's Matt. I'm Nick. We're insufficient.
We did it twice?
Well, I wanted to get the level right. And the only way to do it is, we're doing it live!
Fuck it!
Dude, he gets so angry in that clip, and literally he's just saying goodnight and goodbye to his listeners.
Yeah,
it's
he can't even fucking hang, bro. Dude, Worldwide Wednesdays here at Insufficient.
My favorite day of the week, besides Thursday and Friday and Tuesday.
Who is I can't remember who is Worldwide Wednesdays brought to you by? Worldwide Wednesdays on Insufficient is brought to you by Scholastic News and the Scholastic Book Fair. Don't forget to give your kids all the money they need to get the books they want. Scholastic News.
And bong hits.
No one, I can never hear it when you do that, by the way.
Really? That makes me so sad.
It's just the reality.
Nah.
It's just the reality. But it is one of my favorite days on Insufficient.
Worldwide Wednesday is great because everybody that chimes in over the week, not everybody, but a lot of the people that chime in, we get to shout out and talk about it. It's great.
Absolutely. All right. So one of the questions for this week here, does Fish play better shows indoor or outdoor?
You know how I feel.
What do you think?
I think indoors is way better. Personally, I wish it was outdoors. I like the fresh air. I like the breeze. I like to not smell weed every 10 seconds. I like not breathing in other people's air. But indoors, I don't know. They just seem to... The lights are better. I think Fish can concentrate more on the experience. And I think when it's outdoors... They're all fucking spacing out because they're 60. They're on stage. There's a beautiful sunset. And Trey's like playing guitar, being like, hey, Mike, look at that sunset. And Mike's like, wow, that's a great sunset. And then Fishman, doing his thing.
90% of people prefer indoor shows.
Yes.
90.
It's crazy.
That's crazy.
But I prefer summer tour. That's the crazier part.
I do too, but 90% of people that commented on it prefer the indoor shows. A lot of people attribute it to climate control, right?
I feel like it's worse inside, but okay.
No. If you're on the floor, it's bad. But if you're in the seats, you're fine.
Okay.
You're fine. And the lighting, too. A lot of people prefer that it gets pitch black indoors so they can see the lights better, and it doesn't always get that dark outside. So there's a lot of that. Climate control and lighting is a big factor here. I didn't hear many people say anything about performance, things like that, the things that we talked about.
So the point we were making, nobody commented on. And
not really.
Yeah, they were just being self-serving and talking about the things they like and need.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. I need fresh air. I do agree that the lights are better in the dark. And I
like outdoor shows. I like them. The vibe is a little bit different, and it is a little easier to get to the bathrooms and your concessions. With indoor show, you look ridiculous. You look like your name should be D'Artagnan.
It is.
D'Artagnan.
I'm a member of the Three Musketeers.
Yeah. I don't really like...
God.
Yeah. So
there are actually 4 of them. I'm surprised we've never made this comparison before. It says the Three Musketeers, but then there's that 4th guy who's like the man in the mask that's part of the team. And there's 4 members of Fish.
Are they the Four Musketeers? No, they're the Four Musketoons. It's like a half-breed of the Musketeer.
Yikes. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, it's fine. It's fine. So basically, at the end of the day, people want indoor shows for their fish.
Okay.
But I do, again, like I said, you can get to the concessions easier outdoors. Bathrooms a little bit easier. I guess it depends on where they're playing. I like the vibe of outdoor shows, but no, indoor shows have their, I think sound probably plays a little bit better indoors than it does outdoors. I don't know.
Yeah, I think the sound is definitely better inside as opposed to outside.
The second question, has Fish ever repeated the exact same set list 2 shows in a row?
Yeah, the answer is no.
The answer is no.
Sorry, there's a hummingbird. Don't expect me to do a podcast in the daytime with hummingbirds in my window and not look over there every now and again. Sorry.
Well, I'm going to because you're like an old man.
Yeah.
Basically.
A fair statement.
Yeah. Ooh.
Oh.
Is that a red-footed booby outside?
I don't care much about anything except for fish and hummingbirds. As a matter of fact, if you want to do a spin-off podcast just on hummingbirds, I'm there. I don't know what we would talk about. I don't know what we talk about in our fish podcast.
It's a lot of it's grab ass. A lot of it is.
I feel like that's the charm.
I would say 99% of people said no, they haven't. And okay. So I should probably revise the question and say,
okay,
not have they repeated the exact same show, but have most of the songs been repeated from one show to the next at any point? And
yes.
That answer is yes.
Yeah, in 92, we did a show where the set lists were very similar. Both included a split open and melt.
Opener or something.
No, but it was like the second song, and like that country grab ass song was the opener both nights. So,
okay.
Yeah. I feel it.
So, all right. Not the greatest questions, but, I think we got some answers. They were pretty definitive on indoor shows and repeat sets.
Nobody likes an outdoor show. Nobody thinks Fish has played the same show twice.
Well, okay, so they haven't played the same show twice. But interestingly enough, I saw a comedian the other day when we were talking about the Hollywood Bowl show, night 1, about all the repeats. And he was all pissed off that people like me and you were like, why are we so upset that there's repeats? Like, sorry that Fish stepped on your cocaine and I was like, well, number 1, I don't do that stuff. Number 2, we
Second
do.
Of all, can you step on cocaine?
I guess you could. Number 2, we expect them to, more gaps between shows and songs, and there was like no gap. So I don't know. That kind of caused an outrage, but he was of the mindset that they were fucking with everybody.
I think so.
For whatever reason, Fish was pissed at the Hollywood Bowl crowd. Whatever it was. And anybody that says that, those were great shows, like, you're missing the plot.
Yeah.
They weren't.
Speaking of missing the plot, so I had this theory that I was saving, and I was going to bring it up at the end of the week, because I think some members of the band are still in California, particularly Fishman, from some of the social media like tidbits from his outer circle that are on, like, looks like he might be in San Diego or Los Angeles. And I was thinking, it's been so long since we've had debuts. Maybe they're recording an album, and maybe they're recording it in California, which I thought would be really cool.
They just released an album.
Yeah, 2 years ago.
Was it 2 years ago? No.
Evolve?
Was 2 years ago?
Yeah.
No, it couldn't have been. It couldn't have been, because I when they released it, I was in Lake George, and that was last fucking summer.
All right, I'm looking it up. I'm looking it up live. We're doing it live.
We're doing it fucking live.
You're right. It was July 2024. Okay, fine. Maybe they're not. But then, anyway, Mike Gordon has been down in
Karina had a lumpy head.
Jazz Fest.
Yeah.
Homie had 3 or 4 new songs that he debuted yesterday or the day before.
Not only that, I don't know what band he was playing with, but
Dude.
I think that it was playing with another band with a bass player, and they played Greenie.
Yeah.
And they said Karina, I must have been her name, had a lumpy head. And dude, he was like fucking jamming out. I had never seen Mike move so much on stage.
Yes.
And so I'm kind of curious, like, why is he so into it with other people that he gets to Fish? He's just like,
dude, he rocks so hard in Fish and looks so bored. And then he gets on stage with not the same musicians, and he's like dancing around, having fun, like, you know.
Is it because he has to put? Is it because he has to put a little bit more thought into what he's doing with Fish, and
I think
he can't let himself
play Fish songs in his sleep?
No, he can't, because I've seen him on his Instagram go that he has to run through songs on his bus. So no, he can't.
Really? Yeah. I wonder what that's like.
They all do, by the way. They all have to run some of these songs. I think he was running It's Ice.
You think Trey has to run songs?
Trey should run songs.
I don't think Trey does.
Well, it shows.
No, it doesn't. I mean, you know, he did that acoustic tour, which was cool. Now, for that, I think he had to run songs. But I think for that spring tour, everything was fresh.
So he definitely does have to run songs, because if you just look at what happened at the Hollywood Bowl with Lizards. Okay. So
fine.
Maybe I know that Fishman, from what I hear, Fishman's practicing a lot. So he practices a lot before the show. He's got his own room. This? It's just that Trey has said it. Oh. And you see pictures of Fishman all the time on the road, backstage, practicing.
Yeah, what's really interesting is in those pictures, he's playing a really small set compared to what he has on stage.
Oh, yeah, it's stripped down. Like, he's not going to have... Yeah, why the fuck would he have his entire set with all his fucking...
Well, then why does he have that on stage?
Because for the songs, they need all that stuff. Like, so he's actually stripped away some stuff before, like, his set does change.
He got really bare bones, and then he added a whole bunch of stuff back on, which I was thankful for, except for that one fucking crash that he's...
The Wuhan.
Fucking Wuhan.
Why do you have an issue with the China,
it's a shitty symbol. It's a shitty town. And it,
I love it, man. It puts an act.
You love Wuhan?
I love Wuhan, and it puts an awesome fucking point to the songs. It's nice. I love the China. Fuck you, man.
No, whatever.
The China's great.
Jesus.
What I don't like is his little fucking pad.
I feel like this is about to turn political.
No, his little pad that he doesn't really know how to use properly.
No, that's my favorite. And dude, when he came back during the pandemic with a button on his pad of somebody coughing their brains out, I think he's
missing.
Hysterical.
Yeah, but he's missing the point on that, dude. You have to like incorporate it with your music. You don't just put it as like a sound effect.
No, dude, you're missing the joke. He's making fun of everybody.
I know he is. I know he's doing it for a totally different reason than I've seen other people use it for. Like a lot of hip hop drummers will use that pad for claps and things like that within hip hop. Yeah. So I don't know. He seems to like it. He likes fucking with people on it. But yeah, why would you need the full set to just practice and warm up? You don't.
I feel like
you don't. You need a crash. You need a hi-hat. You need
how many tom-toms?
He doesn't need 5. So he doesn't need. So it's
Dude,
crazy.
You're such a dork when it comes to like drums and music because you know it all.
Well, I don't know it all, but I
know more than me.
So he probably has. I'm thinking he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, maybe 6 toms, maybe 5 or 6 toms, 2 snares, wood blocks. I mean, he's probably got 8 cymbals.
On his practice drums?
No. But he does not have a double kick.
I like that. I don't like the double kick.
Does not use a double kick. Well, I like it in certain if you're good at it.
No, it's too much. Too much.
It depends on how you use it. Like if you're using it in metal, yeah, it can be way too much with blast beats and stuff. But
yeah, no, it doesn't. It sounds cheap.
I don't know. There was a time in '93, and I don't know what recording it was. It might have been at the Orpheum, and they were doing Maze. And I don't think he had a double kick, man, but he was doing fucking 16th note triplets during the fucking high energy part of Maze. And I was like, whoa, never heard this before. It sounded like a double bass drum pedal.
So I actually think he had 2 bass drums on the stage during that setup. I remember there was a time period where I was like, what is going on right now?
What do you mean?
So I think he had not a double, like, whatever. He had 2 drums, one pedal for each of them. And like they were at like a 45-degree angle to each other.
I can actually give you his breakdown.
I knew you could.
If you want.
I do. I don't want it. The people want it.
All right. So he has a 22-inch by 16-inch bass drum.
Yep.
Rack. This doesn't seem okay. Yeah, rack toms. He's got a 10-inch by 8-inch and a 12-inch by 8-inch. Floor tom. He's got a 14 by 4.
For the people at home, like when you start referencing drums, try to throw in a song that is like most notable for using that so that people can reference it.
I will not.
Come on.
No, fuck
I
you,
know
dude.
you can.
That's way too much work. Okay, he uses most of these fucking all the time. So in every song.
No, not every song. He doesn't use a floor tom in every song.
His fills always usually consist of some sort of a floor tom in there. He's got 2 floor toms, all right? Yeah. He's got a 14 by 14 and a 16 by 16. He's got snare. He's got a 14 by 16 and a half. And he's got another one. For cymbals, mainly custom K Zildjian. Great fucking, I mean, that's what I would have picked. That's my cymbal. Though I use custom A. Hi-hats, 14-inch K custom or new beats. Crashes, an 18-inch, a 19-inch, and a 20 K dark crash or custom. Rides, he's got a 22K, Constantinople medium or high. He's got a China effect cymbal, occasionally included a China or a stacker. Yep. Other gear, cowbells, wood blocks, jam blocks, small electronic pad, Roland, similar to that, or triggers. He's got a vocal mic, obviously. And then they're obviously going to add the vacuum cleaner, octo bands or roto-toms. He does, I think he might have those.
He has roto-toms for sure.
He might have a percussion table. But that's basically his breakdown.
I like it.
Do you? I think we lost a lot of listeners during that one.
I don't think so. And if you stuck around, you'll hear me shit on Goose for the next 3 minutes. Dude,
yes.
What a fucking horrible bunch of losers.
Please
How
explain.
are you going to play cross-eyed and painless?
I told you about this the other day.
Looking like a jackass.
I told you about this the other day on the show.
I know. And then I finally saw it, and I was way more insulted.
Isn't it annoying?
Yes. So there's a great backstory behind this, which was an interview I saw a week or two ago where somebody from King Gizzard is talking about Fish practicing one of their songs. And then they heard somebody else cover it. And so they're like, hey, somebody else is covering it on the scene, so we're not going to do it. But just so you know, this was us practicing your song. And he played it, and, Fish was rocking it. But he said there's an unwritten code. You don't cover somebody else's cover. And then within a week's time, somebody's doing fucking cross-eyed and painless. So that brings me to my next point, which is Fish needs to cover a Goose song now because it's on. And you have to do that shitty cover they do of Rock the Casbah because, dude, it's a great song. They're murdering it, and Fish would destroy it. So
I say you take the high road with these guys, with, the guys in Fish. Just do not acknowledge these fucking puds and just fucking move on.
No, dude, everybody loves Goose but you and me, by the way.
No, they don't. And that's what's happened is, and that's our next question. Who the fuck hates Goose?
No, the next question is, do you actually like Goose or are you on Team Matt and Nick and say fuck Goose?
Fuck Goose. Honest to God, like these guys, they were on Sunday morning. They're interviewing them on Sunday morning.
With Bill Belichick and his girlfriend.
Oh, that got weird, huh?
That got weird.
Yeah, that got real strange.
Dude, Belichick is spiraling out of control now. He's like hired a PR team and is releasing statements about him and Jordan. Dude, it's crazy.
Let's be honest. She's making him feel good in the bedroom, and
Dude.
he is totally whipped, dude.
There is nothing wrong with anything you just said. Except for
fine, but
her being part of the interview process. Jesus.
oh, she's totally taken over his life.
Oh my God.
Totally.
I'm in love.
With her?
No. The whole situation.
I love the whole damn thing.
You got that right. All right. Do you want to like put a bow on that question of the day so there's no swears?
Who here hates Goose?
No, ask if they like Goose. If you say who hates Goose, then you're too leading. Tell us your actual opinion on Goose.
You just did the question. We're good.
I know. It was beautiful.
It was great. I loved it.
He's Matt. I'm Nick. We are insufficient. Damn it.
Man.
Dude, I'll tell you.
And you know they're sticking it to him. You know Fish is sticking it to him because at one point they were all about him, and then all of a sudden, dead silence.
Tom's all about him. A lot of people in the inner circle are all about him. They're on podcasts by a different podcast group than ours all the time. People love Goose.
They're never going to make it. They're never going to make it.
Yeah, they just seem kind of meh.
They will never get to the point. Oh. They'll never get to the point that Fish is. Period. Hands down.
Well, okay. I agree with that.
Yep. Okay, will they make it? Or have they made it? Sure. But they'll never get to that point. They will break up. Guaranteed.